I get a lot of questions about what tools do you use for your loose lead walking? How do you stop pulling dogs on lead? Honestly, I have trained dogs on any type of equipment, but my most used one is definitely the slip lead, or just a normal flat collar. I do love a Holty, must say, but I like to use the Canine Lifeline ones, which is basically a slip lead turned into a figure 8, and then you put it on the dogs. You know, like I like those better than the Holties that connect from the bottom, because those, when the dog lunges, the neck goes like this, which I don't like. I refuse, however, to train a dog on a front pull harness, because I find them so unfriendly for your dog's shoulders. Yeah, they're constantly like this and then being dragged to the left. Like, it's so bad for their bodies. I would use normal other harnesses. I just don't want the front pull harnesses that like are really low over the chest, limiting their movements. So I would say those are my most used training tools for loose lead walking. Yeah. Every now and then I get clients that don't want to use a slip lead or walk their dogs on a collar because their dog is choking himself out. They're like like that. Yeah, totally understandable that you don't want to do that to your dog, so they choose to go on a harness or something else. Now, I do train a dog on a slip lead, but I do want to say to everyone, if you just buy the tool like a slip lead and you put it on your dog and you're not putting any training with that, then yes, your dog is going to choke themselves out on that lead. Yeah, you are going to hear the breathing and the choking, because just putting a new tool on your dog isn't going to do anything. What we need to do is change their habits, change the rules on the walk, so you become more of a leader to them to look up to, instead of them just chugging along with you holding the end of the lead. Yeah, so in the end, it doesn't really matter if you walk your dog on a harness or a slip lead. But yeah, if you expect the slip lead to go on and your dog to walk like an angel, yeah, well, that's most of the time not going to happen. Hey guys, I just wanted to talk to you about when you're walking your dog, about following them around all the time or waiting for them to finish an activity, and constantly catering to their needs. So what I see a lot is that owners ask their dog, come on, let's go, are you ready? Or not that sniff, come on, keep going. You know, it's a constant friendly asking of let's go. And what does your dog do? No, I'm busy. Yeah, so you're asking really nicely and your dog is blowing you off maybe a bit less nice. Yeah, what we need to do is reverse that expectation of your dog that you're just going to stand there waiting for them every single time they are doing what they want to do. So instead, stop asking your dog all the time and just start telling them with your leash. So we use our leash and we give them a bit of a tug. I'm not saying like pop the lead, I'm just tugging along and start walking. Don't ask and don't go, right? You just go and say, let's go. And you start walking. If you start doing that every single walk, just wait and see how much your dog starts following you. Does a harness make your dog pull? No. A harness does not make your dog pull, but a harness does make pulling more comfortable for your dog. It gives your dog a bigger area on their body to comfortably pull, yeah, compared to if you have a slip lead or a collar. It's like a very tight, narrow area. So a harness itself doesn't make your dog pull, but it does make it more comfortable. And if it's more comfortable, behavior generally carries on, because why would I stop it, right? And I mean, historically, look around when we use harnesses. Like, have you ever seen a horse pull a horse and carriage just on their neck? Of course not. Yeah, they pull a carriage with the whole set of, like, the harness on. Huskies doing sled dog training have a harness on. Weight pull training dogs have a harness on. Like, anything that requires proper pulling, they put a harness on a dog because it makes it safer and more comfortable. So again, the harness itself doesn't make your dog pull, but it does make it more comfortable. Hey, I did a little poll in my Facebook group the other day about who has used no pull equipment before. Yeah, like, you know, all these ads you see in Facebook about no pull equipment. And we will see front clip harnesses. Those Julius Canine harnesses are super popular. I also see bungee leads combined, you know, the ones that have elastic in them. And they're all advertised as no pull. Like, this is going to be the solution to your dog stop pulling on lead. Well, I hate to break it to you, but it doesn't work. You can keep spending money on your dog's equipment, but the only thing that's going to stop your dog pulling on lead, if they already pull, is to do training. Yeah, I'm not saying that the no pull equipment can help, but a majority of the people voted that their dog just starts pulling into those types of equipments. Yeah, training is going to give you what you want. So stop spending $50 here, $60 there, $20 there, and instead invest $100 in training and be done with it for the rest of your dog's life. Puppies and walking. So I've got a few questions about that. How do I teach puppies to walk? And to be honest, I don't teach them to walk nicely on a lead until they're about 5 months old, 5.5 months, because before that they are so all over the place that really it's like a song without an end. Yeah, they are so distracted by the environment, and you know, rightly so. They are babies seeing a lot of things for the first time, and there's a lot of impressions. So what I like to do with puppies instead is, first of all, teach them to not zigzag. Okay, so I can teach a puppy that stay on my left or on your right if you choose your right, and stay on that side. Get into the habit of not swapping your lead around. I also like to teach puppies to walk on a harness, just because when I teach a dog to loosely walk, I prefer a collar or a slip lead. And if I use a harness beforehand, I'm not ruining leash pressure for them because they don't know what that is yet. And I like to use a long line, especially for pups under 4 months old. It's a really cool way for them to explore the world without having constant leash pressure on them. It gives both of you more of a zone where things are going right.